I'm here at PSX with Dylan from Q Games. Dylan, you're here promoting the Tomorrow Children. Can you tell us a bit about it?
Yeah, sure. Tomorrow Children is a strange sort of parody of Marxism, based in the future, but kind of reinvented. It's certainly a very different game and very difficult to describe in one sentence. So I think the best thing is that people get their hands on it when they can and try it.
And it's exclusively online multiplayer, right? To be played properly.
Yes, yeah, it's exclusively online. I wouldn't say, I mean, multiplayer is kind of a broad term. This is kind of like a sort of strange asynchronous kind of multiplayer, more of a social multiplayer, which means that even if you don't like multiplayer games, you will enjoy this game. It gives you a very nice sense of like solo play, but with other players.
So we first saw the game at Gamescom, and when I first saw the trailer, I sort of thought that it was this like totalitarian regime that we're fighting back against, and it's like we, the like proletariat in the Cold War kind of thing, we're rebelling.
Yeah.
But you say it's kind of more of a cooperative. We are reestablishing and rebuilding the future in a more prosperous way. Can you talk more about that element in the game and what the objective in that sense is?
Yeah. So you've been kind of created in this sort of neo-Marxism, sort of Marxist state, and you are there to try and build the town back up and build the world back to its former glory, I suppose. So what you do is you collaborate with the other players, and you go and mine, you collect resources, and you take them back to the town, and you fight giant monsters, and just kind of enjoy experiencing the world. You don't really have any immediate objectives. It's kind of like you kind of do what you want to do in the game. You could just be farming apples if you want to.
Yeah, and you're sort of using your own resources and means to like build up your own city, right?
Yeah. So you're all building it by yourself. With all the other players. So you're kind of like working together and working within the game itself to build it up. There aren't many kind of fixed rules.
No, and can you tell us the symbolism of the Matryoshka dolls, like what their purpose is in the game?
So the Matryoshka dolls, or sort of Russian dolls, so they're inside the dolls are trapped. There's this DNA that's trapped there, and that DNA is used to rebuild the human race. And so you take those back to the island, to the town. You put them on this like strange apparatus, and then that resuscitates them, I suppose, to be humans, and that builds up the population of the town. And then as your population goes up, the more you can build like better buildings and do more things within the town.
And when the game comes to the PS4, we'll be able to play with our friends, and it's kind of an interactive game like that. You'll be able to visit other cities around you, right?
Yeah, so you'll be able to go back and forth between different cities, and you'll feel like you'll want to live in one of the cities, and then you can visit other cities via a sort of subway, a kind of train, underground train system, which is kind of comes from an old movie called Firefox, Clint Eastwood. And when I watched that when I was a kid, I really enjoyed that sort of like behind the Iron Curtain feeling.
Yeah.
And he went into the sort of the Moscow underground system in one of the scenes in that movie, and I've always wanted to kind of get that kind of feeling into a game, so that's why I'm going to try and get into this.
The entire like Russian like subway system has a horrible history, but it's pretty impressive, and I feel like you see that in this.
Yeah, so that's exactly we've drawn upon that kind of all those sort of architectural means. We haven't copied them directly, but we've copied like the essence of that, and then kind of made it this kind of neo-future version of it all.
Yeah, well, it looks pretty awesome, and we should see it sometime early next year, right?
In theory, yes. Yeah.
Well, cool. Fingers crossed. I hope, because I'd love to check it out. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.